Ararat's
Can you
budget.
explain first again, please?
Oh,
Okay. Okay.
so the outcome of this,
อุ้มอะค่ะ
have you opened that beer already, Pedro? It's just skull.
Okay.
So
Smart is from
it's a term used by finance people. When setting goals to achieve. But it can be applied to any goal. So at the end of this project, I'm going to need to write a report on the achievements that we've achieved, and so I'm setting goals which are to these principles. So it's a specific goal, one that everybody understands. It's not long-winded and hard to understand.
we have to clear them to understand that what is the goal of us.
Yeah, so your workers need to understand it, your boss needs to understand it, and AWP need to understand it. Yeah? And so if it's clear, then everybody understands it.
Clear
It's also
everybody understand that the
what
same
the goal
thing,
is. Yeah.
goal the same goal.
Yeah. So it's not complicated, and it's not too simple. Yeah. So it needs to be measurable. We can measure a goal that we're currently doing this 10 times, but the goal is to do it 20 times, and we can measure that. Yeah. Setting a goal to say, I will become more beautiful, can't be measured, despite how attractive that goal might be. So achievable, like we can do it. We've got
Like
the
not the
resources,
dream.
the money, the vehicles, yeah, and then it's realistic. So again, that comes to resources. So if I suggest a goal which requires your staff to do more work, then is that possible? Do you have the staff to do it, and do you have the budget to do it? And then this last one is it needs to be time bound, in that it needs to be achieved in a period of time which is reasonable. No, you're setting a goal which is for 10 years. I mean, nobody cares. Okay? So whatever we decide as our goals must have these principles. Okay. So this is what I'm thinking. So yesterday we had a look at a report card which was based on a broad range of water quality parameters, but when applied to RID's measurements, everybody was 100%. Every reservoir, every region. And so either everything's fine, everything's 100%, or that measurement isn't giving us enough details for us to understand where the problems are, so that we can improve them. So I still like the idea of the report card.
That's my homework. Report card is my homework for like a workshop on November.
Okay, good. Okay, this is yours.
I got it.
Yeah. So what I thought what we're trying to achieve is to achieve parameters and indicators which are all about eutrophication. So the report card I see as a visual thing which your staff complete when they go out to do their surveys of the reservoir. So they look at incidence of aquatic weed. Like, is there aquatic weed? How much percentage cover? Is it 10% cover of the reservoir? And hopefully, what is it? Is it hyacinth? Is it salvinia? Etc.
So
Sorry, yeah. And then I think there's a small, medium, large, because you can often have two types of weeds. And so one will typically be dominant, so that's the large one, and then you have the small one. Yeah. And so the second one would be the incidence of algal blooms. So your staff can see there's algae.
yeah.
And then hopefully the type of algae is blue, green, green, brown.
Yeah. So mostly it's like a three type: blue, green, green, and brown.
Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to produce a little booklet which has photographs of the weeds to tell staff what they are, and also the algae. So they can just look at their little book and then they can fill in these details. And then from there we can, this is about the impacts of eutrophication. So if there's very low incidence of aquatic weed, very low incidence of algal blooms, we can assume that there is a low impact of eutrophication. So the impact is what you can see. Okay. If there's lots of weed, lots of algae, we know for sure that it's eutrophic. Okay? And then obviously medium. So these are, you meet all irrigation parameters. Like you're always going to meet all irrigation parameters, right? That's what we found. But it's this medium incidence of eutrophication, low incidence of eutrophication, and high incidence of eutrophication. I mean, what those levels are, we can decide. Yeah. So when we got this card, a report card, then we can look at the water quality index. And similar to what Eduardo explained today, we can get much better, like a weighted index for the different parameters. And at this stage, I'm suggesting we need to collect total nitrogen, total phosphorus.
So this one, we like
this is what you measure already.
You measure already. We have one more salinity, but I need to see this in this because so I wonder that we just select 5 from 6 or just.
I think some people measured electrical conductivity and some people measure salinity.
อันเดียวกัน
So
I see.
We need to make sure these cards are uniform across Thailand. Yep.
Yeah.
And I think that what will happen is possibly you may find that one region is achieving a lower index, and then that region probably higher agriculture, more human activity. Yeah. And then, so if we think about total nitrogen, total phosphorus,
We can use equipment to like measure about total nitrogen and total phosphorus.
yeah.
Which one that you recommend us?
Initially, there's the little hack, the bench
Hash.
top. Yeah. So hack, they have a little measurer and then shake it, measure colour.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Color เลยเหรอ
yeah, colour. Yeah. I'll send you a photo. Yeah. So
okay.
I mean they're about $1,200. But in Thailand they're cheaper.
If like we like push in the telemetry, so this equipment that good for like a telemetry to a real time checking nitrogen.
Telemetry won't do this. Currently you need to measure something, but Eduardo, Catherine has given Eduardo
Total,
a
do
link.
you mean that inorganic and organic, right?
No, totally inorganic. Yeah, I don't think we need organic phosphorus.
No, TN, what do you mean? TN mean nitrate phosphate?
Oh yeah, sorry, inorganic. Yeah.
Inorganic. TN
Sorry.
คือ total inorganic
Yeah, I mean
nitrogen.
the total nitrogen, the
and then
nitrogen
total
bound.
inorganic phosphorus,
Yeah,
right?
inorganic
So
phosphorus.
just the
Yeah, the more
the mobile
bioavailable.
เลยว่าอ๋อก็คือในแต่ละไตนิวเทรียนธรรมดา
And so, Eduardo and I will discuss these extra parameters because there's the impact of aquatic weeds, and I think that the drivers for aquatic weeds and the drivers for algae are the same, and almost they follow the same path in that you get infestation, and then depending upon the eutrophication, it expands rapidly.
ใช้สมอง
And then also,
ใช้สมองหรือว่า
if you get rid of one aquatic weed, it can be replaced by another aquatic weed. Same with algae. If you have one species which becomes the minor species, often another species will become dominant. They just change their system. And so, similarly for the indexes, we have like a good quality, the medium quality, and low quality. And so, the research that we need to do is to establish meaningful weighted scores, from expert opinion, published
อา
papers.
จารย์เราได้ water quality index ของโครงการเกษียณแล้ว
And then so this
ใช่เราต้องทำอะค่ะในที่เรา propose นะ
so this I think aligning it to the impacts of eutrophication and the causes of eutrophication, I think
This
links-
one is cause. This
Cause,
one
yeah.
is effect.
That's right. So if you have a report card which is bad, you go to this card and it will tell you what your problem is and what you need to fix.
Okay.
So, I mean, clearly it will be these, but there will be some supporting. I mean, particularly, higher temperature waters support more eutrophication. So,
it means that we measure this parameter to weighting them to make
it's a
eutrophication
weighted
score.
score, and so similar to what Eduardo showed this afternoon.
Yeah.
You put them in a little spreadsheet, and it comes out with a score. But unlike yesterday, all the scores were like So now with an index, it will be changing with time, and then I think Eduardo with that one there, like you can do the statistics and look for trends below and above, things like that. These are your current irrigation limits. I mean, I don't think they need to change, but we do need to have a weighted score for them. Because it's true, it doesn't. I mean, probably electrical conductivity is the one that would worry an irrigation person. If it's above levels that lead to increased salinity, clearly people would get alarmed about that. But I don't think people care about DO. It's running down an irrigation channel. I mean, the people who worry about the DO are the fish farmers. Okay.
Okay.
So, anyway, that's my thinking. That at the end of this project together, that we produce something like this as our output, and these can be linked to both the aquatic weed business and also to the climate change modelling. Yep.
Okay. Good. So finish.
Oh, you want me to shut up?